There's nothing like mutual hatred that brings people closer, and the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trial is the perfect example of just that. With the verdict finally out and Depp getting the win, fans are wondering what this means for Heard's career in Hollywood. Will she be out for good, or will it all die down in the future? Let's take a look. First up, she's unemployable. It's no surprise that the trial, which had resulted in a lot of courtroom drama, ended with a lot of consequences for Amber Heard. During the 6-week trial, she even tried to get the judge to dismiss Depp's defamation case against her. Perhaps she realized there was not much she could do now that the evidence against her became imminent. We guess she wasn't being heard. Jokes aside, while we congratulate Johnny Depp on winning the case, the actual $100 million question is, what will happen to the actress? We've all been thinking about it. Some are speculating that Amber Heard will disappear from the limelight once and for all. Others believe she'll take a break for a couple of years and then come back. After all, Hollywood is known to forgive beautiful women when they make mistakes, right? Well, hopefully, that's not the case. While there are people who are still supportive of the Aquaman actress, there have been petitions to get her fired from all of her active projects. Since it's been proven that she maliciously tried to ruin Depp's reputation through that Washington Post op-ed, fans of her ex-husband aren't going to forgive her in the long run. And since the trial was watched by millions of people around the world, she's not going to get out of this easily. While the case she won in the UK was more of a private affair, this one is very much public. Furthermore, with people threatening to boycott brands and movie projects she's a part of, there's no doubt that she'll not be able to recover. Next, she plans to appeal the verdict. As if being embarrassed through a public trial wasn't enough, it seems Amber wants a round 2. She plans to appeal the verdict against her. Heard declared the verdict a setback that would turn back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. In her mind, she believes that she's still fighting for women who are victims of abuse. She firmly believes that she speaks on behalf of victims and is the voice that should be reckoned with. However, it seems that all Heard has done is damage victims more than help them, though she did find some support from fans who have been following the fiasco since the UK trial. They believe that because she won the case in the UK, that automatically means there was foul play. There are people who also claim that both were equally involved in hurting one another, although we haven't seen evidence of that in court. She went on to say she believes Depp's attorneys succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive when presented during Depp's libel lawsuit against The Sun in 2020. Objection. Hearsay. And now, advocating for her rights as an American. As soon as the verdict was laid out, both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard took to social media to voice their thoughts. While Depp and his fans celebrated, the actress was seen posting about how disappointed she felt with the results. She felt that it was her responsibility to advocate for women around the world, and she felt as if she was stripped of her rights as an American. Heard further stated that she felt that she owed it to her children to speak the truth. She said that she felt down because her supporters were let down. But the actress also said that she felt at peace knowing that she spoke the truth and didn't falter while doing it. It seems that in her version of the events, she exposed her ex's vile behavior, which doesn't sit right with most fans. Some people even took to Reddit to ask why she thinks it's a good idea to appeal the verdict. It doesn't make sense of the conclusive evidence against her. Johnny Depp has to pay her some amount of money because his legal team failed to provide evidence of a false claim they made during the trial. For other accusations, they were able to prove in court that the accusations Amber Heard made were false. Now, moving from A to B. Netizens on social media platforms like Reddit and Twitter believe that in order to sort her life out, Heard will have to disappear for some time if she wants things to become normal again. Of course, there won't be any normalcy for a while. Some speculate that the actress will have to pick up B-movie roles in order to find work. They believe her life and career has been totally ruined now that the cat's out of the bag. She's also complained about being harassed, embarrassed, and humiliated every day ever since the trial started. She feels she can't protect her one-year-old daughter. With Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom set to hit theaters early next year, Heard has claimed that the negative publicity from the case has left her fighting to stay in Hollywood, saying that her role was pared down. This is a claim that DC Films president Walter Hamada denies. He testified during the trial that Heard's part was never intended to be a central one, describing the sequel as a buddy comedy between Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson. So maybe her parts won't be cut out, but the screen time might be limited. Some people believe that she'll have to go back to being an extra in movies or just a supporting character. Others believe she'll be kicked out of the film industry, but will still be able to land some modeling gigs. Now that she's fired her PR team, we wonder how she'll get out of this one. Next, very few brands want to work with Heard. Despite Amber Heard being awarded $2 million because Johnny Depp's legal team failed to prove some allegations, there aren't many brands that want to work with her. She's found herself becoming the center of memes, with people calling her Amber Turd, a reference to her defecating on Johnny's side of the bed. Back in the early 2000s, brands would, without proof, fire any celebrity if their name was dragged in the mud by a rumor. But things have changed since then, and brands like Dior have stood by Johnny Depp, albeit silently. But now that the verdict has come out, Amber is the one who faces the short end of the stick. Brands have pulled away from her, canceling contracts. Although she wasn't fired from Aquaman immediately, she has claimed that her scenes have been cut. It seems that Warner Brothers doesn't want to associate itself with her anymore. We guess the DC and DC Comics stands for Don't Care. Finally, she might find redemption. As shallow as it sounds, Hollywood seems to get lost after a while when it comes to controversies. It's probably due to the fact that it's so used to it, and being a celebrity means you're bankable, even if you've been involved in multiple scandals. We can take Mel Gibson as an example, who found himself becoming a pariah in Hollywood for almost a decade for his vile opinions on Jews and the LGBTQ community. It wasn't until Robert Downey Jr. and journalist Allison Hope Viner advocated for his forgiveness that the public softened its views on Gibson. It's very likely that the same will happen with Amber Heard. The money she promised to donate from her divorce proceedings to the Children's Hospital in LA was only partially donated. She only donated $100,000 out of the $7 million she received. $500,000 were donated by Elon Musk, her ex. It's very likely he or someone else will come to her rescue to advocate for her. But it doesn't seem like her position in Hollywood and the film industry would change much. She had occasionally been given lead roles and was mostly known for her supporting roles. It wasn't until she met and married Johnny Depp that the world found out who she is. Her most recent lead role as Nicola Six in the Martin Amis adaptation London Fields collapsed into total embarrassment after the director and producers fell out and launched legal claims against each other. Apparently, Heard was also sued by the producers. Some people speculate that instead of continuing with acting, it's very likely that she'll become an activist. Just like Rose McGowan, Heard will become more involved in social awareness and advocating for women's rights than work in high-profile films. Not that she was part of any. Well, whatever the case, it seems that Heard will have to do a lot more than appeal the verdict if she wants to win the favor of the public. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of the trial and who do you support? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.